Hello, I'm Georgia.
And I'm Ellen.
And we are the ones that roll.
Welcome to our podcast where we discuss disability and more.
When we're not eating popcorn and watching High School Musical, because we don't do that
much. So due to some technical difficulties, Megan was unable to record her answers herself, so I'm just going to read out what she wrote to me. What were your first impressions of me? Megan said, "Oh no, she's ginger." Just kidding, it was lovely to see a bright and bubbly person who wasn't fazed by their differences, even those that were immediately obvious, i.e. the wheelchair that kept running her over. Were you curious about my disability? And Megan has said, "I couldn't help but be curious. I know the drama teacher called your wheelchair an elephant in the room, but I never saw your disability as a negative thing. If anything, it was interesting to know about your life up to now, and as we became better friends, it was nice to learn more about you and help in any way that I could. It didn't take long for our physical differences to become irrelevant. Was your disability a problem? As I said before, definitely not. Did not change the Taylor Swift obsessed, kind, amazing person I'd got to know, and other than causing many height jokes, it hasn't made a difference to our friendship. Did you have any hesitations?" She used a quote, but I'm not sure where the quote is from. "Single-minded children become prejudiced because of their single-minded parents. As somebody who is raised to approach everyone equally no matter of their personal situation, I had no hesitation at all. You're as crazy as the rest of us in the best possible way." Did you ever overhear anything that anybody else had said about me? Megan said, "Any negative things have only been overheard in passing, most of these expressing how they felt awkward addressing your disability or afraid they'd offend you. Like I said, small-minded people. Any other things I've heard have been merely expressing concern for your welfare and ensuring your physical and mental health is okay. If anything, the majority have been expressing genuine concerns rather than hate." Describe our friendship. Megan said, "Me and Ellen drink Christmas-flavoured tea, tell jokes that are about 5 years old, about old teachers and provide emotional support. It's amazing. I wouldn't change anything for the world."
It would have been the same as my impression of anybody. After time, I think I asked what they were, but it wasn't a first thought. It's a chair, mate. I don't discriminate over a piece of furniture. I can't imagine it ever being a problem to our friendship. All I know about you is from you. You seem pretty open, so I can't imagine there being a lot for people to spread. A standard friendship. We talk over Messenger as our only means of communication. But that works well because I'm super lazy in CBF to leave my house. I just see you as a friend and that brings along only norms of friendship. I guess it's interesting to get insight into struggles that I may not be used to.
We met in year 7. I remember the first day. I think I thought you were quite shy when we first met. You looked quite worried. I don't remember really being that curious. And I think it's because when you're younger you do just tend to accept things more easily. And also you were quite open about your disability and you were quite straightforward about it. I don't really feel like your disability has been a problem for me or made me uncomfortable, but the little things can be annoying sometimes, like when there's a shop that you're not able to get into or something like that, but nothing big. So it's much more annoying for you than it would be for me anyway. I didn't really have any hesitation in becoming your friend. The only thing that did put me off was that you always had the teaching assistant with you, and in year 7 I didn't want to be around all the teachers all the time, so that did annoy me that there was always teachers, but it turned out she was such a nice lady, so it didn't really matter. I don't actually remember anyone saying anything about you, but when we were at school together, it was in year 7 and year 8, so when we were about 11 or 12, so I was quite oblivious to everything back then, so I don't know if I would have noticed people acting strangely, but when we meet up these days, I have noticed that people always address questions and stuff to me when they're talking to us rather than looking at you, which annoys me a lot because I don't know why they assume to talk to me rather than to talk to you. I think I describe our friendship as quite silly and definitely a lot of laughing. We always help each other out, and every time we meet, although we don't get to meet that often, it feels like we've never been apart. in the kind of less serious spectrum, in school, I'd say that you probably could get away with slightly more. I sort of realised that when I'd get told off if I was talking to people in class, but if I was talking to you, I tended to not get told off. I don't know if I should be saying this, but yeah, I did notice that. And also, sometimes when you'd get to leave 5 minutes early from class, in year 7, that was a big deal when you were allowed to take a friend, and sometimes you'd pick me. I think you made me more aware of disability and taught me that someone with a disability is first and foremost a person, and their disability is definitely not really what defines them at all. You shouldn't treat someone differently for having a disability. You can be too self-deprecating, and it does annoy me because sometimes I feel like you don't see the good things about yourself sometimes. You can be lacking in belief, which there is no need. What do I love about you? Just you're very kind, cheeky, definitely your humour, and you're quite like insightful about other people, and yeah, you're just a nice person to be around, really. You offered to take my bag when we're walking around and stuff like that. You're just always doing nice little things.
Thank you for listening to this episode of our podcast.
Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you get notified every time we do an upload, as we have future podcasts lined up.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter at OnesThatRoll and tweet us any thoughts.
Also, you can leave a comment in the comment section down below, giving us any feedback or even any ideas of future things that you want us to discuss. See you next time.